Elena Petrova nervously arranges donated books in the small, sunlit Haven Horizons community library. Her hands tremble as she finds a familiar book, Crimson Secrets, her own donated novel. Flipping through the pages, she freezes at a margin note written in her late friend Anna's handwriting. The note is a desperate cry for help, accusing Anna's powerful husband, Marko Volkov. Flashback. Elena remembers Anna's bright, laughing face at a cafe, full of life. That memory is shattered by another, Anna nervously covering a bruise on her wrist with a silk scarf. Elena's heart pounds as she realizes Anna's accidental death was no accident. She knows going to the police with just a note is useless against a man like Volkov. That night, Elena lies awake, haunted by Anna's final, unread message. She decides she must find the truth herself, starting by investigating the book donations. At Haven Horizons, she meets elderly Mr. Abbott, the head librarian. She asks him about the specific donation batch that contained Anna's book. Mr. Abbott's eyes darken with recognition at Marko Volkov's name. He's a generous donor, Mr. Abbott whispers, but a dangerous man to cross. He reveals Volkov donated his late wife's entire personal library just days after her funeral. Elena feels a chill. This was an attempt to erase Anna's presence completely. She requests access to the storage room where unprocessed donations are kept. Among the dusty boxes, she finds one labeled AV Study. Her hands shake as she opens the box, finding more of Anna's beloved books inside. Tucked inside a poetry book, she finds a key with a tag for a bus station locker. Elena knows this is what Anna wanted her to find. She hurries to the central bus station, her pulse racing with every step. Locker 217 clicks open, revealing a small, locked journal inside. This is Anna's diary, the final piece of the puzzle. Back home, Elena carefully picks the flimsy lock on the diary. The first entry details Anna's whirlwind and charming romance with Marko Volkov. The entries slowly darken, describing his controlling behavior and isolation. Elena's blood runs cold, reading a detailed entry about a hidden safe in Volkov's study. Anna believed the safe contained evidence of his illegal business dealings. This was the evidence Anna found, the evidence that got her killed. Elena knows she needs to get inside Volkov's mansion to find the hidden safe. She spends days watching the imposing iron gates of his estate from a safe distance. She notes the guard patrols and the timing of the security cameras. Posing as a new maid, she gets a one-day trial at his estate through a temp agency. The house is cold and sterile, a beautiful prison where Anna lived. Volkov watches her with his cold, appraising eyes, making her skin crawl. While cleaning his study, her eyes constantly dart to the large landscape painting on the wall. Her heart stops as Volkov suddenly enters the room, asking her to fetch his coffee. This is her only chance. She quickly moves the painting aside while he's gone. The safe has a digital keypad. She remembers Anna's birthday from the diary. A soft beep and a green light. The safe door swings, open silently. Inside, she finds stacks of cash, passports, and a single, unlabeled USB drive. She grabs the USB drive, her hand trembling with adrenaline and fear. She barely gets the painting back in place before hearing his returning footsteps. She slips the drive into her apron pocket just as Volkov re-enters. He dismisses her early, his cold eyes lingering on her a moment too long. Elena drives away, her heart pounding, the USB drive feeling like a lead weight. At home, she plugs the drive in her laptop, her screen flooding with encrypted files. One file is named Operation Haven. It stands out from the rest. Before she can click it, headlights flash through her window. A car is pulled up outside. Two large men get out and walk purposefully toward her apartment door. Volkov's men are here. He knew it was her. She grabs the laptop and drive, fleeing out the back fire escape into the alley. The sound of her front door splintering open echoes from above. She hides in the damp darkness, watching the men search her empty apartment. She is alone, hunted, and has nowhere left to go. The only person she can think of is Detective Miller, who handled Anna's case. She runs through the rainy streets to the precinct, soaked and terrified. Inside, she desperately explains everything to a skeptical desk sergeant. Detective Miller emerges, her sharp eyes taking in Elena's disheveled, panicked state. At the sentencing, Elena stands tall, finally free from the shadow of the wolf. She uses her portion of the seized assets to massively expand the Haven Horizons library. Mr. Abbott proudly places Anna's diary, now sealed in a display case at the entrance. The display is titled, "A Silent Story Now Told." Speak your truth. Detective Miller visits, not as a cop, but as a friend, bringing a new book to donate. Elena opens the book, and a small, pressed flower falls from its pages. She smiles, a genuine, heartfelt smile for the first time in years. She looks around the vibrant library, a living legacy to her best friend. She picks up a pen and begins to write their story on a fresh page. The story ends not with a whisper, but with a promise of new beginnings.